What's up, you guys? It's MB Maniac here with you, and today I'm going to be going over part 1 of my 2016-17 NBA Season Award predictions. And I'm starting things off with my prediction for the Kia MVP award, which I think will go to none other than Kawhi Leonard. Now, this was a tough decision to make because there was a lot of players to choose from. You can't count out Steph Curry, reigning back-to-back MVP. Russell Westbrook, I think he's going to have an amazing season. Damian Lillard, he'll be on the map. But I just think Kawhi Leonard is the best two-way player in basketball. And with the way the MVP voting works, I think the Spurs are going to end up at number 2 behind the Warriors. And the reason I don't have one of the Warriors winning the MVP is because I think their stats are all going to be a little deflated, because they won't have a lot of playing time anyway, because I honestly think they're going to average around 30 minutes a game because they don't really need to play the whole time. Now, Kawhi's already coming off a pretty impressive campaign as he averaged 21 points, 7 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 2 steals to go along with 1 block per game. Now, the most important part of this stat line to me is that he shot almost 51% from the field and 44% from 3-point range. And if you remember, he had that crazy hot start to the season where I think he shot around 50% for a good portion of the year. And with Tim Duncan now being gone, he's officially the face of the franchise. He has the keys to the offense, so I expect him to have a really big jump this year. I see him averaging around 27 points, maybe like 8 rebounds and 4 assists a game. And that might not be the best stat line in the NBA, but I think when you add his defensive impact on the game with that, it's easy to see why he could be a favorite for the MVP award. Alright, so up next I've got my pick for the 2016-17 NBA Rookie of the Year award, and I'm going to roll with Joel Embiid on this one. Now, originally I was going to roll with Buddy Hield, but I forgot the fact that the NBA actually is going to allow Joel Embiid to be eligible for this award because he hasn't actually played an NBA game yet. And being drafted 2 years prior to this, I think gives Joel Embiid a big advantage over these rookies, because even though he hasn't played a game, he's already adjusted to the NBA lifestyle. He's had a lot of chance to watch these games up close, learn things from players around the league, practice in the NBA setting. So I think that is one of the main reasons he's going to have a better season than most rookies. And him being on one of the worst teams in the NBA, will allow him to have a lot of touches and really get his rhythm going, which is another big thing. And on the court wise, he's just really big, man. He came in, he was kind of skinny his rookie year, but we already know how athletic he was, and he was pretty dominant in college. And with 30 pounds of muscle, which is what I believe they said he put on, he just looks like he's going to be an absolute dominant force, especially against some of these smaller teams. With the new NBA going small, I think he's going to have a big advantage in the post. So hopefully he can have a dominant season for a rookie. I could see him averaging around 14 points, 10 rebounds a game, something like that, which isn't the best stat line, but I think he'll have the biggest impact on the court, because defensively he is a beast as well. Next, I've got my choice for the Kia NBA Defensive Player of the Year award, and with this one, I'm going to go with Hassan Whiteside of the Miami Heat. Now, this one was a tough choice because there's a lot of good defensive players in the NBA, like Rudy Gobert, DeAndre Jordan, Draymond Green, and Kawhi Leonard, and they were all definitely on my head. But the main reason I'm going with Hassan Whiteside is because he's going to have a big minutes jump this season. With Dwayne Wade, Luol Deng, and Joe Johnson all gone from Miami, he's the centerpiece for this team now. He's the main piece going forward. So he's going to be in the game for most of the time. And he already averaged 3.7 blocks a game last season. So I could see that number even going up to 4.5, because he also has other really good defensive wings. And I think those guys are going to be really good at limiting perimeter shots, because they're going to make sure that they force their man inside, because they know Hassan is there to swat that shot away. I expect his defensive rebounding numbers to go up as well. He had 8.6 a game last season, 11.8 in total. I think his defensive rebounding numbers alone will jump to double digits, probably a couple more rebounds a game. And I think he'll jump from 11.8 rebounds a game to about 14 or 15. That's just how dominant I think he's going to be on the defensive end. So to wrap up part 1 of my NBA awards predictions, we're going to finish off with the Most Improved Player award, which I believe will go to D'Angelo Russell of the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, a couple other names that popped in my head for this award were Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns and Miles Turner of the Indiana Pacers. But the main reason I chose Russell is because he is going into a much better situation than he was last year. His rookie season was a struggle as he averaged 13.5 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. And he was in a pretty bad situation last year for a rookie. You know, he didn't really get along with head coach Byron Scott a lot. Wasn't seeing a whole lot of playing time in the beginning. And playing with Kobe, you know, it's pretty hard to get in a rhythm because Kobe took so many shots and D'Angelo Russell didn't have the ball that much. But now with new head coach Luke Walton running things, he's going to instill a fast-paced, up-tempo style of basketball. You know, they're going to shoot a lot of threes, which is perfect for D'Angelo Russell. And I've watched him in the preseason live, and this kid looks like he's going to be special, man. I expect him to put up around 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 or 6 assists. You know, we'll see how the assists do. You know, he hasn't shown that he's as good a passer as we thought he was going to be, but I definitely think the scoring is still there. He's a bigger point guard at 6'5", which I think will help him on the defensive end once he puts a little more effort into it. And he can post up smaller point guards, which is always a huge advantage. And with shooters like Jordan Clarkson and Brandon Ingram now being on that team, you know, I think he'll have a lot more space to operate, and we'll see his passing ability showing a lot more, because last year I think the reason his assists were so low was because there wasn't a whole lot of ball movement in LA anyway. So I expect Russell to have a really good season. And that's going to wrap up part 1 of my NBA awards predictions. I will be releasing part 2 within the next couple of days. And as always, any questions, comments, feedback you have for me, let me know in the comment section below. And signing off as always, NBA Maniac out.